Welcome to the stream. Today I'm gonna do some tattooing practice. Oops. This is the needle I'm gonna be using for the fake skin. It's a 9 round shader. So we'll test that out to see what type of thickness it gives us. Last stream we were tattooing practice on this little design here, the squishmallow, and just testing out the different needle and filling in the color. For this one, I think the needle was a I forgot what number the needle was, but I think it was smaller than the needle we're going to use today. So yeah. So got gloves on, and I've been watching some more videos on how to improve. I'm putting my needle in the machine. Wow, yeah, this one is thick. Let's see if you can see it. That's some thick needle right there. This might be real bold. So we'll see how this looks. And again, this is all just practice on fake skin. Just trying to improve. I'm going to get my ink filled up over here. I'm using Dynamic brand ink. I think this one's like pretty much empty, so I need to get this other one out. I also have some color inks, like red, green. So after I do the line work and see how it turns out, I'm gonna probably try and do like a fill in the color. Okay, so I'm getting some paper towels. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Trying something different and new, semi-new. So usually I work digitally, and since I'm on break from school, I wanted to try and get out my tattoo machine and try practicing some tattoo. So I said before, I'm using a size 9 round shader. It's really, like, the needle grouping is really thick, so it's gonna probably produce a bolder line than the stencil. And here I have an old rose drawing that I did in what's it called, Procreate. So I'm just gonna be practicing, and if you just joined the stream, this is what we did in the last live stream, just filling in the color for this one. And I was experimenting with like the technique and the needle. So you can see it's definitely beginner level type of thing. So yeah, I just wanted to practice. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm kind of nervous that the lines are gonna be choppy and wiggly, but I'm gonna try my best to keep it steady. So I'm running this on 8 voltage. This is fake skin. This is from like Amazon. This is not actual pig skin. This is just like whatever material, like silicone or something. that I'm using to practice. So I was watching a bunch of videos on how to better hold it. So something like that. Or like, well, I gotta hold it like this because that's what's comfortable for me. And I was also watching to stretch it out. You can't see it like that. We're gonna attempt. I think I ran out of ink towards the end there. Okay, so I just learned a lot from that one line. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe it to see how much of that ink actually held. I have a feeling that it's probably not gonna look that good, which is a little bit discouraging, but I'm also trying to be forgiving because this is something I'm just kind of like learning on my own and not from an apprenticeship, and this isn't going to be done on people anytime soon, so that's also what's kind of running through my head whenever I do this. Like, it's okay to make a mistake. Like, this is all just for practice. Okay, so that line is super thick. Like, I think it looks, I like the thickness of that line, but the only thing is like this, the stencil has, like some fine detail, so I'm going to switch out the needle whenever I get to there. But overall, I think this needle, like, size really hides the, like the little, that, like the jitteriness, which works in my favor. I think I saw something about that, or like the fatter the needle, like the better your lines look. But to really test your skill, it's like you really got to probably start with like those thinner needles. Yeah. Like, if you can get really good thin needle line work, then you're probably really good. Okay, so I have my machine still at 8 volts. And then I think I'm going to come from the top here and meet back at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna dab it, and kind of my process, I don't know if this is like proper, but after every like line, I kind of just pat it and try and get the ink off, and also see like what I'm working with. So this skin, this fake skin, I don't like. I think it's probably like cheap. And it doesn't take the ink off well. But here you can kind of see like the line quality. It's not the best. I'm not the proudest of it, but there is like a little bit of a squiggle. So whenever I was holding the needle, I did see when that happened. So I'm just using Vaseline to get this excess ink off the fake skin. But I really need to get some better quality fake skin to practice on, because this is kind of a little bit, I'm going to be honest, like garbage. I've used a different brand before that was actually better than this one. And this one is really thin, which I don't think like people recommend to use. But I'm just using it because I have it, and I just didn't want to waste what I already have. Okay, so here I have the line, the leaf shape. You can kind of see where there's mess ups, but we're just gonna keep going and see how it all turns out in the end. This is really kind of a vulnerable thing to share, like the process of doing something not completely new, but just different, and not being good at it. Okay, so I'm gonna start from like the bottom, so whenever I wipe away, I wipe down or like away from it, and then keep the stencil on there. And I'm also gonna get in here and do this. That line felt really good, but we're gonna see how it turns out here. I'm gonna do this little part here. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe that. And since this one is already like smudgy, I'm not too concerned about the little leaf designs as much, because I think I'll just fill it with color for this one, maybe. I saw something where it's like you gotta put the Vaseline on or the baby oil on the side of your glove so that it like slides and glides properly. So this one, it looks better than this other one. Trying to get the excess off without taking off too much of the stencil. Okay, that looks decent enough for me to start the next line. So go ahead and start that. I'm gonna do this leaf here. I'm kind of doing like a little practice, like and then I'm gonna add some more ink. That one felt kind of fast, so I'm gonna see if I go a little bit slower on this next one, just to compare. compare the quality of the line based on the speed. I got kind of nervous there at the top of it. I was like, oh no, I'm being watched. So let's see how that turned out. I think it maybe turned out okay. Honestly, I don't like it at all. It's kind of a weak line. What I'm gonna try is upping the voltage a little bit. To 8.7. Yeah, I can hear it's a bit faster. So these lines, I'm not gonna go over them, I don't think. I'm just gonna keep working the shape of the rows. Just trying to see where to start. Maybe I should do this like pedal. Well, I can always just turn it and then it doesn't matter where I start really. So somewhere like there. Okay. Gonna see how that turned out. So I did up the voltage about 0.7. I think it does turn out a bit better with the higher voltage compared to the other ones. So let me show zoomed in. Trying to wait for it to focus on it. Okay. So here is 8.7 volts. Everything else is 8. This was the first like spot. You can kind of see like the mess ups. And then here you can see that I probably went too fast on this one or didn't have enough ink because it's a little bit light. And yeah, and then here, this probably looks better than the rest, but it's still not, like, it's not good enough. Okay. But it's pretty fun, though. It's fun. Even though it doesn't look good, it's still fun. So I'm just going to probably do this next petal here. Okay. Adding some more ink, 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 ink. Testing it. That one felt better. Like, each time I do it, it's getting a little bit, like, it feels better to do it. And that one actually, it's not bad compared to everything else. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Okay. Now I'm going to do these leaves right here. And then I'm going to just move this way up the design. Okay. So, let's see. I need to add more ink. This one I went like slower just to see. But it looks like it's like spilling. I'm gonna dab it. I was watching some videos about how to tattoo better on fake skin especially, and they said to use baby oil to get the ink off the fake skin. But right now I'm just using Vaseline. This time I'm going to put a layer of Vaseline on before I ink it, just to see the difference. But also, I went slower on this line, and personally, I can see the difference between this line and then the first one. So, like, right here, this is the first one I did. And you can see, like, the jitteriness. And then here, this one here, it's a whole lot smoother, more solid in color, and more consistent. So I think I'm kind of getting to figure out what's working, and I just need to keep doing what's working. So I went a bit slower on that pass, and then I also had the voltage higher than the rest of the work. So now I'm trying something a little bit different. I added some Vaseline to the top. Usually I add it after and then wipe it off, but we'll see if it makes a difference in the experience. So I'm gonna try, oops. Okay. So let's see how that turned out. Whoa. So it definitely makes a difference for how the ink wipes off, for sure. But I did get nervous on it and kind of jittered it up. It was getting a little bit jittery. Probably shouldn't drink coffee before doing this. Okay, so let's see. So I do like putting the thin layer of Vaseline on. Like, it helps it go. Because, like, look at this one. This one is really, like, faded. It didn't capture the ink properly. And then here it's, like, a lot bolder. But here I was kind of getting nervous. And the line looks kind of choppy. But, I mean, like, from a distance, it looks not too bad. So now I'm going to do this part here. I'm going to add just a teensy bit of Vaseline to it. I'm going to fill the ink back up in my needle. So I'm going to do this like petal. I'm going to close this shape before I wipe it. So I felt some nervousness when doing that top part, but I'm gonna do these little round parts there. I did like the little bud part in there. I think I'll do like these little petals. Sorry if the camera keeps going in and out of focus. It's kind of hard for me to adjust it whenever I'm tattooing. It looks nice whenever the ink isn't wiped away. But we're gonna wipe it. Dang, I'm getting a little bit more impressed. That one I went like slowest on that. Okay. I just really like how bold this like thickness is. Let me see if I can turn on some more light here. I just connected that line. Thanks anyone who's watching the stream. I want to get into tattoos more. So I'm going to use the live streaming as a means of showcasing the practice. Now I'm gonna try and do these parts in here. Just adding a little bit of Vaseline. Filling the ink. This here was the first one, and these little pieces are the most recent lines. So I'm gonna I think what I might do is I might work this petal here. Then I might go ahead and go do these little small parts. And I'm just gonna use the same needle size even for those little small parts. And then maybe for this one I might, which I don't know if I'll get to that today, but I might use a smaller needle just to like really test. Actually, I'm just gonna do the little middle part here. Let me add some Vaseline. So I just did the little swirly swoop in there. And you can definitely see, or at least I can see like the newer marks as I'm moving, as I'm doing this more, and they're getting darker and more stable than like these were like the first ones where you can kind of see where the ink isn't all the way in there. Okay, So I think now I'm going to do the little petals around the center and then do the outer petals and then the leaves. It's kind of hard to stretch this fake skin, so I don't really know like if I'm doing it. Okay, we're gonna see how that turned out. I did notice I was gripping it a little bit, like hard, but I still think it's coming along pretty good for like a beginner tattoo. Okay, so let me show the camera. Now I'm gonna do the outer petals. And I actually might go over some of the parts where the ink doesn't look as good, but maybe I'll save that for last because I don't want to mess it up before I'm not even done. I'm gonna do this one here. Okay, that one felt different because I was trying to focus on staying at a steady pace. Let me add some more ink to the thing, but let's wipe this. Pretty solid. The color's looking more I'm just refilling my ink. I got a couple places where I felt it was bouncing. So I think that's because I didn't stretch it enough. We're almost done with the tracing. Now, whenever I finish these 4 leaves up here, I'm gonna probably go back on these like parts where it's not as the ink isn't as dark, and see if I can improve it. I'm gonna do these last 2 leaves over here. Okay. So we've outlined all the pieces, all the now I'm gonna wipe it. Okay. Okay, so this is what we've done so far in the stream. I think I'm gonna go over this like spots that have like the less, like it looks kind of streaky, to see if I can make it as dark as these parts. And then after that, I think I want to try some like shading techniques that I saw, like whip shading or like stippling. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go over this one one more time because it's a little bit like gray. Now I'm just nervous that I'll like go over it and then it messes it up. I had a little bit of a mess up right there. So let's wipe it and see what happens. Yeah, I can see it. So now I'm gonna get another needle, I think. Let me decide what needle I'm gonna use. Round shader. So I was using a round shader to do the lining of this one. Now I'm gonna use this needle. It's a mag. I think that's what it's called. So for this, I'm gonna see if I can do some shading. Maybe I need more ink. But I'm just gonna do some tests right here on the side. See what that looks like. Okay, so here's kind of like what we got from that just now. Trying to do some tests on how to do it right. Let's just see. So that's kind of like what we just did. Now I upped the voltage to 9.6, so I took it from my 8.7. We're gonna see something here. Want to see what the difference is? So I'm trying to do like a whip shading technique where it's darker at the end, but I'm not really getting it. Okay, let's try again. Let's see what that does. This might be closer to what I need to achieve. I think maybe, yeah. I think this is probably what I'm kind of going for here, where I just need to make it darker here at the bottom and then like whip it out more maybe. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try this on the petals. We'll see how this turns out. It might break the whole design. It might make it look like garbage, but so I'm just gonna start up here and then kind of see if I can like get it out. Okay, let's see what that does. It might not be good at all. Oh, it barely put any color on there. But it's just not close enough to the line. So I'm gonna try again. Okay, so I tried that like whip shading technique, and it kind of looks cool. The only thing is I need to get closer to the line, because I can see kind of like a haloing effect. So that's what I need to improve on. But I think I'm gonna just keep moving on past this one, because I don't want to overdo it and then like completely ruin it worse than it already looks. So now I'm just gonna add this type of effect to all the petals on the flower, on the rose. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Gonna see how that turned out. Probably gonna have to go over it again. Yeah. I'm gonna wipe it, see what happens. Ooh, it's a little bit dark. I don't know how I feel about it. I should have wiped it sooner, but that's what we got going on. Trying out the technique of whip shading. The only thing I can say is that it is darker closer to the line, which here you can kind of see like the haloing effect. So I'm gonna keep this part going, but I think I made it too dark, too far out. So yeah, but it's a learning experience, so I'm gonna keep going and do like these main petals, and then see where we go from there. Gonna wipe it and see what happens. I think I need to get closer to the edge. Yeah, this one needs to get way closer, so thank goodness for fake skin. Okay. So this time I'm not gonna whip out as far. I'm just gonna stay like local to this line. I say that and I'm still whipping out far. Dang it. Gonna wipe it, see what happens. Dang. It's getting there, kinda. I mean, this is pretty fun. It is a little bit, like, I get nervous because, you know, I want it to look good, but, here's what we got so far. I love, like, the needle texture that it gives. The only thing is, like, this is the first one, and then we're moving down. So, yeah, you can kind of see the halo there. This one kind of messed up completely on it. But we're going to do this one, and then move on to this one. And then I think I'll take a break from tattooing after this. Hold on. Okay. It's getting kind of stuck. Okay, this one barely had any ink on it. So, let me just take a look at it. Okay. Let me add a little bit more ink because I ran out. The mag needle like really absorbs a lot of ink. Okay. Gonna wipe it. Okay. I'm gonna do this other petal. Ooh, that one dug in. Okay, let's see. Dang it. It don't look good at all. So this is my attempt at learning how to whip shade. Here I like angled the needle sideways instead of just doing it. You can kind of see the skinnier like lines. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, since I still have the mag and some ink left, I'm gonna fill in like the secondary leaves full black, and then the top leaves will be have the leaf veins on there, just so I can practice some of like filling in color. And then I'll probably need a smaller needle to do the inside parts for that. Oh, whoa. So I was watching some videos on how to do this last night. And it was saying, like, hold it a certain way. And it kind of worked. I mean, it's not good, but there's still coverage. I just get... Okay. Alright, we can go. Let me just... So that got some good coverage. Okay, let's wipe it. Oh yeah, that needs some more ink on there. Okay, wipe it. Wipe it. So that one filled it in pretty good for doing it on the fake skin. Okay, I just put like a thin layer of Vaseline. Let's wipe it, see what happens. Thank goodness this isn't real skin. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I think I need to put more there. wipe it. Wow, okay, it held the color in pretty good. All right, now we're gonna do one more leaf for this stream, and then I'm gonna end the stream. So I'm just gonna fill in this here, and then next time do more practice on this rose with the veins, and then also just some using a smaller needle to like do whip shading maybe. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe it down, show it to the stream, so you can see like what we did during the stream. Cool. Okay, so this is what we did in the stream. We went from this stencil, and then we did the line work. We practiced whip shading. It's not really that good at all, but we practiced it. And then we practiced filling in just solid color. So, yeah, I think that was a good little practice session. Next time, like I said, I'll work on the veins probably, and then also shading in with a smaller needle this part of the rose. And then yeah, but this is it for today's stream. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoy watching me experiment with tattooing on fake skin. Yeah, it's definitely something I want to continue doing and practice more. So if you're interested, I'll be doing more of that on my channel. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now.